Go to the state of Ohio. That's where quarterback Tavien St. Clair comes in at number 6. He is locked in with the Buckeyes.
He's been kind of our darling when it comes to the quarterbacks. We moved him up, and now we're doubling down here with that 5th star. I'm going to admit, I made a mistake going through the game tape. I watched the final game of Tavien St. Clair's sophomore season, and then I realized it was his sophomore year. Went back and watched the final game of his junior season. Completely different quarterback. He shows so much more command in the huddle, on the field, imposing frame, accurate on the move, set school records as a junior in passing yards and touchdowns. Then he won the accuracy challenge at the Nike's Next One events. We love Tavien St. Clair and the entire package he brings to the table.
Like George McIntyre at Tennessee, I believe Tavien St. Clair is completely locked in with Ohio State. He's done nothing but recruit for the Buckeyes, and he's focusing his attention on Jamie French at wide receiver, Vernell Brown III, DeCorian Moore, another wide receiver, David Sanders Jr. at offensive tackle, and then Nate Roberts at tight end. I mean, this guy is all in with the Buckeyes, and he's doing everything he can to build on an already loaded class in Columbus.
Let's hit the top 5. Cornerback Na'Eeem Offord, the Alabama product, is also committed to Ohio State.
It's early, but this is my favorite prospect in the 2025 cycle. I love this kid. He is a height, weight, speed corner, so everything you want. He's over 6 foot. He can also run. He's got the explosiveness as well. How about this? He has an 11.5 broad jump to his name. That would be first among cornerbacks in the 2024 NFL Combine. So when you think about the explosiveness that Na'Eem Offord brings to the table, he's also a 3-phase guy, getting it done on offense, special teams as well. I think he is the best playmaking corner in this class. I love Na'Eem Offord. It's crazy to me that Ohio State is going to be able to pair him up with Devin Sanchez if they can get both those guys across the finish line. But this dude, a day one playmaker, love what he brings to Columbus.
Yeah, Coop, getting them across the finish line is going to be the key, because although he told me his quote, "I'm locked in with Ohio State," there are a bunch of schools that have not given up. I know for a fact that Oregon, Georgia, Alabama, Miami, and Auburn are all doing everything they can to recruit the heck out of him and try to flip him from the Buckeyes. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Ohio State's doing everything they can to keep him from taking those visits. Behind the scenes, those visits are being considered from the elite talent.
Number 3, the top corner, also from Texas, Devin Sanchez. He is the 3rd 5-star committed to Ohio State.
I feel straight up blessed to be able to talk about Na'Eem Offord and Devin Sanchez, 2 of my favorite guys, and I talked about Na'Eem Offord being my favorite guy. I don't think this guy is far behind. I mean, you talk about the length, the prototypical, what you want at the cornerback position, 6'2", 170 pounds. How about the genes as well? Both his parents, D1 athletes at UTEP, mom a sprinter, dad played football. You think about this kid, what he can do. He's comfortable in man, he's comfortable in zone, can play the bump and run as well. I love his eyes. He rarely gets beaten. When he does, he's never in panic mode. Also has good ball production, 5 interceptions, 11 pass breakups. He's just as clean comes. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Christian Gonzalez, former first-round draft pick via Oregon. So when you think about these guys are really hard to find. A really smooth, efficient mover. I think smooth is kind of the word that comes to mind with Devin Sanchez.
Sanchez told me that he's completely firm in his pledge to Ohio State a few weeks ago when we spoke in Vegas at Nike's Next One's event. He's been to Columbus multiple times, I think 4 in total. He's super close with defensive backs coach Tim Walton. I mean, he's all about building something special in Columbus. He's focused on safety Fahim Delane, wide receiver Jamie French, wide receiver Khalik Lockett, and multiple other guys. But I'm not ruling anything out. Like you said, Emily, it's March. Oregon and Texas A&M are still doing everything they can to flip him.
3 5-stars in this group. Notre Dame, though, right now currently has the number 1 class in 2025 with 17 commits. It's a big class, but what could the Buckeye group look like when it's all said and done in terms of maybe all-time classes?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think you would need to play with the 24/7 Sports recruiting class calculator. I did not have the time today, but anyone listening to the show can pull up 247sports.com and start messing with it. How about Alabama's, I think it's the 2021 recruiting class, and they're going to have 2 corners drafted here in a few months. That's Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold. Both those guys probably going to go in the first round. Cooper just loved up Na'Eem Offord and Devin Sanchez. So you got those 2 guys, and Look, Tavien St. Clair, Cooper said it. I mean, he is a 5-star quarterback for us, number 2 quarterback. I can't wait to see this guy at the Elite 11 regional and then hopefully at the Elite 11 finals again, because he took such a step forward from his freshman to sophomore year, that sophomore to junior season. What is he going to look like as a 12th grader? And you get your mind churning about that quarterback room there in Columbus. I know there's been some different play callers, but the bottom line is they have a lot of talented arms. They got some talented wide receivers too. So to me, I think this Buckeyes recruiting class, I don't have the class calculations. I think it could finish, number 1, push for number 1. But more importantly, I think it's going to net and it's going to yield some future first-round NFL draft picks, and that's the name of the game, right? Alabama, what they've done is they've brought those guys in. They've got them wired the right way, under Nick Saban, and they've won a ton of football games. You're going to see with the NFL draft. To me, Ohio State seems to be doing that right now. They're going out and they're getting the certified dudes. They also got Blake Woodby, one of my favorite inside cornerbacks, committed. And it sounds like they're in good position for Fahim Delane and Messiah Delhomme. I mean, they could have a defensive back class where 5 or 6 guys are in our top 100. I mean, I don't know if that's been done before.
It is March, so I will say we got to be a little bit cautious about where this could rank overall, all-time rankings and all that type of stuff. But, I'll take the conversation a different way. I think the question was asked, who is going to be the biggest beneficiary after Nick Saban retires? Well, Nick Saban's retired. That answer for me when that question was asked was Georgia. I think you can make a very good case that the team that has benefited the most has been Ohio State. You think about Na'Eem Offord, the guy that I was gushing about earlier, out of the state of Alabama, Devin Sanchez out of the state of Texas. And listen, it's not like Ohio State hasn't been to these areas before, especially Texas. Garrett Wilson, Jeffrey Okudah, they've had success there. But their ability, they're one of the biggest brands in college football, if not the biggest, to go down south, be able to get guys like this, completely changes the trajectory of this program. Not to mention what they've done in the portal this year. This seems like a team that is very aligned, very determined, coming off of 3 straight losses to their rival Michigan. They want that national championship, but I just love the way they're recruiting. They're recruiting like the team in the program with the most urgency in all of college football right now. So yes, it's early, but you think about the makings of what a good class looks like. They got the 2 5-star corners, and then you have the quarterback in the middle. Now they got to get it done on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and if they can do that, then they got something special. But I love where Ohio State is right now.